What's going on, guys?
No, not much. Oh,
Murmaider here.
You weren't talking to me.
It's just me today. I don't have anyone with me.
Hello!
Just
Hello!
kidding. Hell 22's here.
Oh, hey.
He's our guest for tonight.
I'm the guest.
And, yeah, we got some crazy stuff to tell you today.
Crazy?
Crazy. But before we get to all the craziness, let's talk about some of our reviews that we just have gone over.
Yeah, Murmaider, you're pronouncing things very prominently tonight.
Yes.
Very
Prominently.
serious.
Is that a problem? Or?
No problem.
What's problem? So tonight, let's talk about your one review over this past week. Netherbird is the band that you did.
I did a review for them. Yes, the band is Netherbird from Stockholm, Sweden. One of our favorite places to talk about. And typically, Murmaider, you handle all things black metal related.
Yes.
Because usually I just can't get behind it. But in this case, I decided to snatch this one up because basically they set out to make music without really thinking about the constraints of what genre they were going to be a part of. And they ended up with this black metal album that has a little bit of thrash, a little bit of death, a little bit of doom, kind of all mixed in. Really, really enjoyable. I was pretty impressed with it, and it's only 3 real tracks and then an intro track. The intro track is, just simple guitar riffs. There's like the ringing of a bell or a gong in the background. But then it just kicks in, and the title track, the EP is called Abysmal Allure, and the title track is just everything you would expect of black metal. So you got like the really fast snare cymbal combos, you got a lot of kicks, and it's typical black metal. The vocals come in, screeching black metal vocals, but then things change. Like, first of all, the production is really tight, so that's one major difference.
Right.
But there's also some like death metal growls, and then the tempo slows down, and there's like kind of some slower, dense chugging involved. It just takes black metal to different places, and I think that's it's refreshing for me. Let's put it this way: if I give a black metal album a good score, you know it's something good, because it's just not usually what I'm into.
Yeah, it sounds pretty unique.
But definitely something to keep an eye on. And this EP came out this year, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they're already putting out another EP. I mean, I guess when they're only a couple songs, it's a little bit easier, but still,
yeah,
they seem to be pretty on top of things.
Yeah, at least they're keeping up on it.
Yeah, but definitely an album to check out. Netherbird, Abysmal Allure. Check it the fuck out. Now, Murmaider, speaking of checking it the fuck out, you did a review. You didn't do a band. You did a review this week for a band called Illuminata.
Yeah.
Please, Murmaider, tell me about this band.
Well, after coming off of last week doing the Nightwish review, I don't like to always do the same genre 2 or 3 times in a row, but I came across this band. They came out with an album called A World So Cold, and they are very similar to Nightwish in the fact that the genre is like symphonic gothic metal, and on top of that they have female vocalists as their lead. However, they actually have 2 female vocalists in the band.
2?
Which I found very interesting. Yes, 2. And one is, I guess, the lead vocalist. Her name is Joanna. And the other one plays German flute, and she's also the vocalist, and her name is Katarina, I guess we'll say. Katarzyna. There's a Z in it, so that throws me off.
Once again, we'll just say we're not cultured. We are Americans.
Yeah.
So, we don't speak language very well.
But it was really interesting to hear both of their vocals together in a lot of the songs, harmonizing above each other, and really mixed things up. And I really liked it. I thought it made it.
Are there no male vocals at all?
No.
None.
None.
So 2 women who sing?
Yeah.
No male vocals?
No.
That is unique.
Yeah. They do even have a third female in the band, but Sabrina, she does the keyboards, and the other guys are a bunch of dudes.
Bunch of dudes.
But I really liked the album. I was surprised. I actually was worried that, like, going from Nightwish, it's going to be hard to put anything up against Nightwish. But I ended up giving a really good rating, and I would definitely suggest this to anybody out there that likes gothic metal or Nightwish or Lacuna Coil or anything like that. I would definitely tell you to check this out. Very symphonic, very epic music.
But something I do want to point out based on what you just said was the whole thing of when you're listening to a couple different artists that are part of the same genre. When we're doing these reviews, it's not like each album is graded individually. It's not like when you're listening to this, you're saying, well, I gave Nightwish this score, and this album is this compared to Nightwish, so I'll give it this score. It's completely
right.
We try to keep things individual because obviously an up and coming death doom band probably isn't going to put out the same thing as Swallow the Sun or Draconian.
Right.
So we have to do things on an individual basis. So it's not like if we say one album is a 10, that any album that's a 9
is not as good as
it's a different album.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Yeah.
Just wanted to throw that in there because I don't think we've ever really said that before. And
right.
I know when we did our mid-year top 10 list, people had kind of said like, well, yeah, but you gave this album a 9.5, but you said you like Amorphous more, and whatever. So just throwing that in there.
Well, moving on to another review that you did. The band is Eumeria.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Right.
Interesting band. 2 guys are from the U.S., one from Texas, one from Georgia. The others are from England. And the band was kind of founded by the keyboard player. His name is Bobby Williamson. And when you're trying to put together like a progressive metal album or a progressive power metal, whatever you want to call it, obviously the keyboard player is the star of the band. I will give him all the credit in the world. His keyboard parts are amazing, but there is no star in this band. They are all just damn good at what they do. They've only been around for 2 years. This is their first full-length album. They had a demo before this. But what I really want to touch on, drums are phenomenal.
Yeah.
There are some fills on this album that left my head spinning for 10 minutes after I was done. Really great stuff. The guy's name is Kevin Bartlett. Really great drumming, really tight. Everything's just, picture perfect. And the other thing that I want to mention is the vocals. Because, again, you can't really have a progressive power metal album without good vocals. You can't just throw any jackass in there. So their vocalist, whose name is Johnny Tatum, fantastic. One of the best vocal performances I think I've heard this year.
Really?
You put that all together with great guitar work, and the guitar work is a lot of fret work, a lot of high-speed picking, but also some distorted chugging. Really great stuff, and I love when bands throw in, Zakk Wylde does it so well, where, you're playing a riff and then you just kind of hit that harmonic and you just let it screech like, wah!
Yeah.
They just had a couple of those in each song, and it was great setting the tempo. Everything was really good about it. The album is called Rebel Mind, so definitely check them out. Kind of just fell into this album, totally didn't know who they were, and gave it a shot, and I'm totally not disappointed that I did. This was quite the experience. So it's 9 tracks, and you got some really good stuff in there. Really good stuff. If you like progressive power metal, I would say this is a great place to get started for new artists.
Nice.
So now Murmaider. We've been delaying this, trying to make sure we had it all in hand before we announced it to the world.
Uh-huh.
But Murmaider, why don't you go ahead and tell everyone what we're so excited about this fucking week? I mean, you don't even seem excited. You're actually very serious tonight. You're very serious. He's got this serious look on his face. He's got a monocle in his eye and a top hat. He's just being very professional. So Murmaider, just get excited for a second and tell the people what we got coming. Apparently Murmaider left. He might have walked out of the room. Murmaider? Hey, what are you doing? Oh, he's still there. I'm sorry. He's still there.
I'm hiding. Not really here. Well, I'm going to do this as plain as I can.
Because you're very serious.
Yes. We are announcing our official sampler of Sorrow Eternal. Very first one. A couple different bands that we have up for everybody.
Yep.
We're very excited. You want to go through a list, right?
Yep. I want to go through the track list. Go in order. We'll let you guys know what's on here. I got 12 tracks on here from artists that we've reviewed and been dealing with. And first, I think before we read the track list, I think it's very important that we say thank you to all the bands. Some of them are on labels, all the labels that we dealt with.
Yep.
Everybody that we dealt with in this process has been great. We're waiting to get the discs back from the manufacturer, and then they will be available on this very website. We are going to be selling them for $6 plus shipping. We'll ship anywhere in the world. And, you know, we just basically just trying to cover our costs in doing this, but we're trying to get this music out there to you guys. So without further ado, here we go. We're going to start with track number 1, because that is typically where people begin.
Yep.
So track number 1, we have Sam Locke from Australia, his song Epic from his album Era. Some really good instrumental progressive metal. Really excited about that.
Speaking of Sam Locke, we're gonna have his interview.
Oh yeah, you should see it right below this goddamn podcast. Yeah, his interview is really, really good. He's got some new stuff coming we're really excited about. Second on the track list here, our friends in Blizzard at Sea, their track Closed Universe from the album Invariance, the EP. Really good sludge. I mean, we were stuck on them for quite some time. We had an interview with them as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really enjoyed that EP.
Yeah, it's stuck with me for quite some time. You know, the cool thing about this, you know, not to get off the beaten path here, is that you know, we listen to this stuff, so you know we burned kind of preliminary copies of this, and it's the best CD I could listen to this year.
Oh yeah.
So number 3 on the list, we got Skogan, some raw black metal.
Solid
the name
black
of
metal. Yep.
the name of the song. Here we go. You ready for this?
Drum roll.
Midnattens Glimrade Steel Hit from the album Svityad.
Pretty good.
Please don't shoot me. I might have gotten that wrong. I might have insulted someone. I don't know. But yep, so raw black metal. Really, I mean, they're kind of. I think they're the new wave of traditional black metal.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Number 4, an album that I might be dropping a hint here. Might be on my top 10 of the year. Got Project Masquerade, led by guitarist Newt Smeets.
That's
the song
right.
"Killer of Life."
That's right.
From his album Nothing But Everything Will Remain. The heaviest track on the album. I don't even know what to call it other than like some good solid guitar metal.
Yeah.
Number 5. Again, one of my favorites this year, As Autumn Calls, the song Wither Away. Great doom metal band from Canada, some acoustic stuff in there. Really excellent. The album was An Autumn Departure. We had an interview with them as well. I'm kind of seeing the pattern here.
Yeah,
we have an interview with a lot of these. We've been fortunate, you know. So the first half of the sampler ends with one of your big albums from the year, North Song.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The song Mountains of Madness from his album Winter's Dominion. You know, we talked to Cortland Runyon about the folk metal scene in America and where he thought it was all going.
Yep.
And you know, I think he's got a bright future ahead of him.